Hi everyone and welcome back. Lately, Sundry Concepts has suffered from organizational issues, especially with the stock and orders preparation. We know that order picking is a crucial aspect for warehousing, and in our company, everyone seems to be running around to find the products for each other, and it's chaotic. So, since we want to minimize costs and provide excellent customer service, something needs to be done. Taking that into account, I'll define a set of practices to meet my accuracy and speed targets. Walking from one pickup location to another is said to take up to 60% of a picker's time. So reducing the time taken to prepare an order will thereby improve picking efficiency. To do this, I can choose between two picking processes, batch picking and wave picking. As I don't know yet which one best fits the company needs, I'll set them both up so we can test. So with batch pickings, groups of orders are picked together. With the orders grouped together, even though employees will need to travel to each department of the warehouse, they will go to each location only one time and fulfill multiple orders simultaneously. On the other hand, wave picking consists of picking a specific product. Orders are broken up based on the items they consist of. That means the picker will go to only one location to get all the ordered products under one category and take them to the picking zone. Then the products can be sorted into individual orders. So this allows less traveling through the warehouse, but orders will need to be prepared once all products are in the picking zone. So one is not necessarily better than the other. It all depends on your company's needs. So let's jump into our database and see how they work. Alright, let's go to the inventory application and get started. So we're gonna first start with configuration and then settings. Of course, I want to be sure I have the options activated. So you need to go to this advanced flows. The first one is we make sure the multi-step routes is checked and then don't forget to save it. And then go back to configuration and click warehouse. So edit the warehouse configuration and change how you deliver the goods. So instead of one step, select 2 steps for the outgoing shipment and then save it. Our next step is actually to add a couple of routes, but before we do that, let's navigate to the settings application and activate the developer mode. So this is going to let us see a few more options or fields that we wouldn't see otherwise when we're creating our routes. And then we're going to jump back to inventory and we're gonna go to our routes. So let's go to configuration, then routes. I can also access our routes for specific warehouses as well. Just click on the warehouse and then click on the routes smart button up here. Alright, so I'm actually going to select my delivery in 2 steps. Okay, so here I want to be sure I have the sequence set to 100, which I already have. And then I'm actually going to duplicate this. So let's go to this small action icon and then duplicate. Now the sequence is actually one of those fields that we don't see when we're not in the developer mode. So that's a good example of why we need to be in the developer mode. So let me just change this to 5 and then I'm going to change the route name as well. So I'm just gonna put lounge chairs and then I want to be sure I have the product category selected as well as the warehouse. Okay, and then for the rules, I'm going to delete the last rule and I'm gonna modify the first one. So instead of pulling from the warehouse stock or the source location, I'm actually going to choose my chairs area as the location of my lounge chairs route. So I have already created this location, but of course you can create your own locations. Just go to configuration, then locations. Alright, so now we're also going to change the propagation and set it to fixed. You also won't see this section if you're not in the developer mode, so be sure you're in the developer mode. And then I'm gonna add a fixed procurement group And of course, it's going to be lounge chairs. I've already created this as you can see, but you can easily create one right here. Alright, now let's save this rule as well as this root. And then let's duplicate this again. So let's change the name to drawers and then the sequence to 6. Then we're going to modify the rule. Of course, we will put this in the drawers area, and for the procurement group, let's choose drawers as well. Then don't forget to save the rule and then the root. Alright, now that we've created a couple of roots, we actually want to apply them to the product categories. So I'm gonna go to configuration, product categories, and then I'm gonna go to my lounge chairs and drawers, which I've already created. And of course, I'm gonna apply the corresponding root to these categories. So for chairs, we'll have the lounge chairs root and then the drawers root for the drawers. So don't forget to save those. So now that I've applied the root to the category, I also want to be sure I have my product categories correctly applied to the products. So for example, we can go to products and I will check my chair, and there we have it. The category is correctly applied. So be sure to verify your product category in your products. Alright, so now let's jump out of developer mode. So we're gonna go back to settings and deactivate the developer mode. And then we're going to go to sales, and I'm going to create a sales order. So I'm gonna choose the products that have those categories where the roots are applied. For instance, we have an order from Sir Cameron, so I'm gonna add the lounge chair and the drawer. So let's say 2 of each, and then we're going to confirm. And then let's go ahead and create another one for Miss Tiffany. Let's just put 1 each for the lounge chair and the drawer, and then confirm again. So now we can actually check out our pickings because we are going to deliver in 2 steps. So I'm going to head back to the inventory application. Alright, so if I click on the pickings, I'm going to see that I have one for my drawers area and one for my chairs area. So if I click on drawers area and operations, I'm gonna see I have a demand of 3 drawers. And then the same goes for our chairs. We also have a demand of 3. Alright, so that's just a really great tool to use. So that was called wave picking. But what about batch picking? Okay, so we're gonna go back to configuration and then settings, and be sure we have the option activated for batch pickings. Then we're gonna go to operations. We're gonna click on batch transfers. Okay, so let's create a new one. We're gonna choose a responsible, so I'm just gonna choose Amber, and then I can go ahead and start adding some pickings. So I can actually group by certain things. So let's go ahead and add a custom group. Let's say source location. Okay, so if I want to choose a responsible to go and pick based on the location so they aren't running around everywhere, that's a really good option. But as you can see, you can group by many other things. So don't forget that you do have these custom groups. So you don't need to only select the first items on this list. Alright, and then I'm gonna go ahead and just select a few here. So I'm going to click on select, and now I have those items. And as you can notice, I can see the status, whether it's ready or in the draft. Then I can also modify a few things here if I want. So for example, if I want to cancel or remove this picking, I can simply click on this delete icon. And then I can confirm this and print. And then we're gonna get a PDF of it and view this list of our pickings. So that's it for batch pickings and wave pickings. Thank you so much for listening. Goodbye.